Hey everybody, welcome back to One Mic, and today I'm here to talk about Season 3, the final season of Netflix's Squid Game. And I'm just going to dive right in because honestly, this season and this series as a whole, it fell apart like a bad game of red light, green light. Like, I've spoken so many times on networks and streamers insisting on churning out seasons of a show because the first season was a hit, even though they've got nothing worth saying or doing in subsequent seasons. Well, this is example number 25,648 of a show that should have just had the one moment in time, like the one hit season, and then walked off into the sunset triumphantly. But no, because it was popular and because it was profitable, Netflix shat out 2 more seasons. And now, at least for me, Squid Game's legacy went from like a great moment in time of one season that we all watched together and loved and talked about to another show to throw in the pile of shows that you describe it like, well, season 1 was good, and then that's it. You can't say anything else. And season 1 was great, man. It gave us creative, brutal games where losing meant dying, very simple and effective. But by the end of season 3, we've gone from high-stakes survival to people just talking and debating and arguing over whether or not to push somebody off a ledge. And this is Squid Game. It's not a goddamn ethics class. Like, the final game starts with everyone supposedly agreeing that they're going to team up and they're going to push player 456 and a baby off the ledge. Then the game starts and they decide that they want to now debate what's the right thing to do. Like, what the fuck for? Like, you want to play fair now? Like, you already walked in ready to kill this baby. Like, spare me the moral crisis, the internal conflict. Like, you've gotten this far in the game, but since we're only at the beginning of episode 5 and already on the final game, I guess you guys just gotta figure out a way to drag this shit out. And man, boy, oh boy, did they drag that shit out. I'm gonna talk about episode 5 specifically in a moment, but back to the final game, they've got this long pole. Plenty long enough to just knock people off from a safe distance. But instead of using it smartly or wisely, they waste time arguing about how to use it. And then when they do use it, they use it in the most ineffective way possible for the entirety of those 2 episodes. It was painful to watch. And the final game itself, I mean, think about some of the games that were in season 1 and then think about the final game of the whole series. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, it was terrible. Like, no creativity, virtually no tension, just a whole lot of talking and soul searching and arguing, and not in a, in a positive, beneficial way, like in a very tedious and boring way. And I didn't sign up to watch fucking Squid Therapy. Like, I signed up for psychological warfare and batshit creative deaths. Instead, they just had player 456 quietly holding this very evidently CGI baby while looking like, I can't even say worried, like moderately concerned as like the rest of the players dragged out the end of the show, pointlessly debating strategy. And there's one point they talk about drawing lots to see who would be killed. Remember, they had already decided that they were going to team up and push 456 and the baby off the ledge. But during the lot drawing conversation, player 456 and the baby's daddy, they don't say anything for whatever reason. And of course they get outvoted. Even if they had said anything, they still would have been outvoted. But whatever, they didn't talk. They didn't make a case, nothing like that. They just stood there and allowed shit to happen to them. Then for whatever reason, the players who voted to draw lots beat the shit out of one of their own and toss him off the tower. And then 456 is like, yeah, maybe we should draw lots. Like, man, what? Anyway, then just when you think it can't get more anticlimactic, in the finale, player 56, he has his back to the ledge. He makes this bold, we are not horses, we're humans statement, as if he's about to like make some profound point or stand up for some, stand up for people and the players in this whole process, only to ultimately abide by the rules of the game and throw himself off the tower. And I'm like, what point were you even trying to make? Because it sounded like you were trying to make a point that you were different than what the people behind the game look at you as. But if you're going to do that, I feel like you should do something outside of the rules of the game then. But he didn't. Then on top of that, in that moment, player 456 is dead. And there's like a half hour left in this episode, which brings me to the next thing that I didn't like, which was the subplots. Once wherever 456 was dead, and I saw there was a half hour left, I'm like, I know y'all not about to fill the rest of this time with these sorry ass subplots that you put next to no effort in. You know, you got the cop whose brother is the guy that runs the games. This motherfucker's been searching for the island for all of season 2 and 3. Like, that's it. That's all he's done is look for the island. Like, it felt like how on Game of Thrones when in like season 2, Daenerys is like, yeah, I'm going to leave Essos. I'm going to go to Westeros. I'm going to take the Iron Throne. And then like 10 calendar years later, she arrives in Westeros. Like, that's what that shit felt like. And then like, he gets, even aside from that, he gets to the island, he sees his brother, then he fucks off. Like, what was the point of this? And then you got the subplot of the girl who worked at the amusement park, but now works at the games, and she's trying to help the coworker from the amusement park that's got the sick kids. She's trying to help him escape. Like, both of those subplots were underdeveloped, uninteresting, and they honestly just felt like filler. Like, we got to have something going on other than the games. Let's just shit out some other subplots. And the time that they spent not putting much effort into making those subplots watchable, they could have spent that time giving humanity to the characters within the game like they did in season 1. Like, it's really upsetting to me how season 3 was so divergent from not just what season 1 was, but what made season 1 special. But lastly, because I really don't have much to say about the season. Lastly, I want to close by talking about those rich white VIP characters. Like, I'm pretty sure they were supposed to come off the way that they did, but I swear those were some of the worst vocal performances I've ever seen. And that's all they had to do was voice act. You didn't have to see their face. They had masks on, and they still sounded like they didn't give a fuck. Like I thought the English parts were dubbed. That's how bad their voice acting was. But I'm watching their lips and I'm like, this looks like it matches. Like, what is this? Like, y'all talking like that on purpose? Like, I don't know, man. Even the cameo at the end, like, it was so weird as to be off-putting. Like, what was the point of that? Like, are they going to start a US version of the show and Cate Blanchett's going to play the person in charge? Like, I don't have any interest in that show whatsoever, but I'm almost certainly going to make it. But like, this is beneath her. She doesn't need to be doing this, and I don't want to watch this IP be grinded into dust by them just churning out shit season after. Now we're at fucking US Squid Game season 7, and it's just a joke. And it's like, you could have just left it alone, and it could have been great, but greed and laziness have resulted in this show just fizzling out at the end. Anyway, the season, I want to say the season had potential. I don't know. It was 6 episodes and it got really boring really fast, but they could have done something, but it spent most of its final lap wandering around in circles and talking itself to death. Like, I can't even wrap my head around the idea that people could have enjoyed both season 1 and this season. Like, considering that this season, again, it had none of what made the first season special. Like I said, the games lacked creativity. The characters in the games were underdeveloped. The subplots were dull. And the final 2 episodes, particularly episode 5, with that completely boring shitfest of people talking and nothing happening. Like, it was so far diverged from what this show once was that I'd be surprised to hear that anyone enjoyed it. But I know that people have. I guess that's all I got, I guess, on this final and aggressively mediocre season of Squid Game. But let me know what y'all thought in the comments. Like, did the season work for you? Like, am I bugging? Like, you think like it was just like season 1? Like, if you think it was just like season 1, please, I implore you, make your case in the comments. But this just didn't work for me at all. Like, so episode 5 in particular, like, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've hated an episode as much as I hated episode 5. But on that note, check out the rest of my content. Somebody said in the comments of one of my videos that I'm an angry person. I'm like, you said that based on my most recent Foundation video? I am an angry person. This season pissed me off. But I'm pretty sure I have a review for season 1 somewhere among my nearly 1,000 videos. I didn't give a shit about season 2, so I didn't feel like doing a video for that. But when I watched this one, season 2 and season 3, it's essentially one season. So I kind of felt like, I should get in front of you guys, get something out, just giving my thoughts on at the end of the day, a show that was, again, still like a moment in time. Like, this show came out of nowhere. It was wildly popular. It was really entertaining. Took the world by storm. I felt it, necessary for me to come here and just give my thoughts on how it ended. But look for that season 1 video if you're interested in seeing me talk about it. I'm fairly certain it exists. But rate, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And until next time, peace.